close the door. Hopefully nobody come in here. But anyway, and interrupt me while I want to talk about this. Okay. I'm back again. I'm back again. I was just watching this video with some people getting ready to protest. Of course, they went and got Benjamin Crump. But I guess people feel, you know, safer with him than anybody else. I don't know. I don't know. It ain't. I just pray whatever it is, they have a way of getting the justice that they so rightfully do deserve. I mean, the family. It don't make no sense for nobody to have a gun and shooting, and the 1 year old is in the car and get shot and killed, and then you ain't gonna do nothing about it. That don't make no doggone sense. That is intentional and that's evil, and God will deal with it. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Like a lot of times we want to take vengeance in our own hands and do things or whatever, and we mess ourselves up. And believe me, my heart truly goes out to this family for that type of tragedy. Um, Especially an infant. I mean, a small child that really touches people down deeply, deeply in their heart. And I guess these people, like I don't know, I don't want to, say stuff about people because I really don't know these people, but I know of other things that have happened in the past. Not a 1 year old being shot by the police, but just being outraged for the incident that happened. And you can mess yourself up because you're not thinking with a clear head. And most of the time when people are not thinking clearly, they could do things later on they can regret. Like, for instance, we're going to go back to Rodney Hinton and his son Ryan. Rodney Hinton, son, was, yes, killed by the police, shot, and the police was at fault. I didn't see that young man pull no gun out. I saw him drop a phone. Kids are with their phone, and I saw him pick up a phone. It ain't look like no gun to me. It looked more like a phone. And they put a gun there with a magazine and all that other stuff there so it could look the way they want it to look. Like, they didn't want to actually take accountability. And that's wrong. And in the Bible it teaches us about not taking accountability for things when it does happen. So that's why I tell people it's hurtful, it's heartbreaking, it's pain, like it's never gonna go away. But I say this: as time go on and on, take it one day at a time. Nobody wants their loved ones to be harmed. Nobody wants their loved ones, especially a child, a small child, of something like that happening. I don't think nobody should find that justifiable. For a child, there's something wrong with you. Something is seriously, seriously wrong. That's why I said protesting. Would you think that would be really, truly necessary to protest, or just have a prayer meeting or something to calm down people in their spirit, and also to get people to act more rational before they do something. And I'm just saying, I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want nobody to get out there and put more harm to themselves or bring themselves to more harm. That's why I say, do you really think protesting will be effective, or will it bring more injustice? Because what what's going on out here, people are got a lot of racial hatred in them today. Because these, not black people, because we've been dealing with it forever, okay? white folks, not all, not the ones who believe in humanity and those who believe in treating everybody right. But you can't, of course, tell the difference these days, you know. But at least you're gonna try to be nice to every white person you come across. I ain't saying going out there just automatic taking just look at white people and say, "Oh, you white so and so," just want to get something started. I'm saying what I'm saying is that the protests is only going to make things worse. It's going to bring more racial height. It's going to heighten the the racism, and it's going to heighten other things. So the best thing to do, I would say, and this is how I mean, people do protest and they got to get their feelings out. You know, they hurting. They hurting. People are in pain. You know, that child, that was a small child. But at some point, we got to try a different way to deal with it instead of just. I'm glad somebody hit that message. I'm glad I didn't see it because it's always an ignorant, some stupid ass person just come in here just to say something stupid. They trolls and they don't know no better. But anyway, like I said, I think what would be best for that family is to get spiritual counseling. If they don't want to accept it, then at least you tried. At least you tried to come in and, you know, bring some peace to them. Because sometimes things like that, you just got to sit at the house, come to the house, mourn. That's why they have wakes. Okay? That's why there's a church in your community. um, or not no organization. Oh, God. The best place to go when your heart is heavy and your soul is troubled is to the church. The best places to go when your heart is heavy and your soul is troubled is to the church. Because there, God can speak to your heart. You grab a bottle and go in your room and add more problems, right? That I can't do the drinking stuff. When I'm depressed, I cannot drink. Drinking is the last thing on my mind. I gotta drink when I'm happy. I gotta drink in that type of spirit. I can't drink in a depressed spirit. I can't do it. I would rather sit and cry all damn day than to drink. Seriously, I can't drink when I'm hurting. I have to read the Bible. That's just you got the lotion. I don't know who this was. This is a uh, I don't know who this is. This person got to stay out of my chat. We don't do that porn shit over here. Okay? But anyway, like I said, the best place to go when your heart is troubled and you also going through um some pain in your life, or you feel darkness is over your head and everything just don't seem like nothing's going right, everything just all messy and fadey. Okay. Just had to get rid of some things on my channel. But anyway, like I said, and I'm trying to talk to somebody here because I don't know. Somebody might be going through something that family might be going through as well. Somebody might be going through. Okay, somebody might be going through something right now, just like this family's going through that situation right now with losing that little small child like that. And you want to help people out. You want to give people another way to do things than other than doing it to the streets. And some people want to go hit those streets as soon as something happened. When it has to deal with black rage, a rage for black rage to come out. The best place for people to be in something like that is a place surrounded by the comfort of others, strengthened in the Word of God. Okay? Something that can calm their spirit down, something that can give them some hope, something that will keep them in their right mind before they don't go out there and harm themselves, or, you know what I'm saying? They don't get harmed or do something they're going to regret. Like I said about Rodney Hitton. His son was shot in the back. The police try to cover it up, make it look like his son did have a gun, and they had a justifiable reason to fire up at him and be trigger happy or whatever the hell they thought it was. Me personally, I don't think policemen should use their gun unless someone is shooting at them first. If you shoot at me, then of course I will have to use deadly for or some kind of way of using my weapon. But these police officers would just shoot and say anything. That is not cool. And if you feel you're going to put yourself in a uniform and go out there to fight villains, then you know what comes with the territory, right? You're going to get some crazy ones. And then you're going to get some ones that's not so crazy. You're going to get some ones that's doing petty little things, just, probably like, what stupid ass Jim Child, whatever the heck his name was, did to Cyrus. And shoot somebody, run after somebody in from the store and steal and say they stealing, and the boy didn't steal anything, and he got shot in his back, and he was a 14-year-old kid. We all were 14 before. We all did stupid things to do. We all wasn't so perfect. We wasn't great kids. None of that. You know, that's what people got to understand. Okay, that's what we got to go. Go into your mind and think. We was all 14. When you was 14, did you do silly things or go in the store and tease? And the kids, they like to go and tease somebody. People like the kids. They like to poke fun at you and tease you and come in. That could have been something that been going on. And that's why I say some people, their nature is different. They don't know how to be. They don't know how to be friendly. They don't know how to take something lightly, and they don't know how to just try to just be like, all right, you kids, y'all don't come in here and do or maybe even offer the kids if they want to come in the store all the time and make them do chores in the store, make them clean, make them wipe the floors, give them a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to know them, build a relationship with them and everything. And you don't have to go around harming people kids and killing people kids because you got that sickness in your head and in your heart. Some things are just not necessary. I talk to teenagers. That's the culture of white folks. Okay? Always paranoid, trigger happy, and they love to tear at flesh. And they love bloody things. They just I'm starting to really believe that movie Sinners. That they're vampires. Mm-hmm. They got the some of them, not all. of a vampire. Moving forward, like I said, I don't think protesting will actually be the best option. I don't think that's the way to get the justice that your family is looking for. I think the best place, like I said, and I'll say it again, for a small child like that to lose their life in reckless endangerment or by a reckless police officer, I think the best place to do is go to the church. Invite the people to the church so they can hear it through a sermon. Maybe that will pierce their heart to do the right thing. I don't know nothing about no Diego. But what I'm saying is that sometimes people never try. You know, black folks, I know there's a lot of things has happened throughout history to us. I know that. But what have you learned from your past? What have you really learned from your past that you already should have known? There is certain energy, certain things people are walking with, and they are drawing that type of attention into their life. Into their life. There are certain people who live a certain lifestyle and they don't see themselves. And the thing is that they don't remember saying it or doing it or whatever until it happens to them. But they just have a certain lifestyle and a certain element about them. And they just bring drama. They bring drama. The devil can use whoever he wants to. Well, put it this way. No, he can't. Because God only allows him to use certain people, like the story of Job. Okay? When he was like, have you considered my servant Job to Satan? Look at what happened to Job. In one night, one night, he lost all his children. One. A fire broke out here. His kids died here. All these tragedies started going on, coming just like full force at Job. Okay? No, Bruce, this is what I'm saying, okay? For white people to get offended and to think that other people didn't have any kind of mistreatment in society. I'm not saying it. What I'm talking about is this incident right now, but I'm also using some things through history what black people have been through. And some things happen for a reason so we can learn from our past. That's all I'm saying. And I'm speaking to the black people because we lived this experience. Okay? White people did not have the same experience with black people nowhere in the world, okay? Because white people have had white supremacy. And they have been colonizers. And they have been able to get into other people's country because people just trusted them because they painted a porcelain white Jesus and they sold that image to the world of being pure and being the savior. Okay? The purity and to be the savior. And it got in people's minds, and it got into people's sight, and it got into people that they thought white supremacy was the best way to go. White people did not end slavery. Black people had to fight for their own freedom. You better go watch Birth of the Nation. Talking about white people free. They ain't had no other choice. Because they was getting slaughtered. Okay? They better go find, y'all better go find that story of Birth of a Nation. They were getting slaughtered. They did not win. I'm sorry, they did not free the slaves the way y'all want to whitewash history and make it sound like y'all was the savior. Don't tell that like white people helped with the Underground Railroad. White people have abolished, white abolitionists, Christians, whatever. They did help because they were good white folks that were here that had helped in the battle for the black, for the slave. But them slaves were fighting for their own goddamn life, their own freedom. They started to use them damn, what do you call it again? The thing they pick up with the hay and shit, and all kind of tools they had and shit, and start fucking them white people up. Them white people ain't had no choice but to free them goddamn slaves. They was getting their ass whipped. They were putting glass in their food. They were doing everything they possibly can to kill them. They was doing everything they can to kill that evil, wicked master. And the only ones who was the only masters. Now I ain't saying they all was wicked, but the ones who were wicked were getting killed and they were getting slaughtered. You better go back in your history books and read that. They ain't had no other choice but to free all them damn slaves. And they had the Indians there. The blacks, the Indians were together. Nat Turner wasn't even a full blooded, he was a freaking Indian. He was mixed with some Indian blood in him. He was an American and he was more like he was an Indian. Nobody knows what he really looked like. You gotta imagine him. Nat Turner was not full African. He had some Indian something going on in him. They were getting their ass kicked because the damn people were getting tired of these damn wicked ass slave masters that they were doing to black folks back then. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta come off the camera. So don't believe that story, okay? Don't you believe that story that white people freed black people. We had our own political party, okay? Because we were Republicans. We were conservative. And black people back then, they had money. Some of the slaves was living good. Okay, not all of them was living all jacked up like that in a goddamn cabin or whatever. Some of them was living real good. Their cabins were hooked up. They were living like the Little House on the Prairie. They dressed good. They had it going on. It's just that white people just don't know how to stay out of people's business. And don't know how to trying to think they the superior. And they know every goddamn thing and they smarter than every goddamn body. And they think they know every goddamn thing. Okay? They can't take it out. Black people, we were teaching our kids way better than what the fuck y'all was teaching y'all. Go back in those black old movies and black people was going to school. Alex Haley is the perfect movie. Perfect movie of Roots. Roots is it's a classic. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes, especially when you got to get through that real first episode. Yeah, we gonna make it great again with some white folks on it this time. You keep saying that. Be careful what you ask for. Because I see some white people already on their way to a plantation. I see more of them now working for them damn liquor stores for those Indians and working for those little, little out here. I see a lot of it. Mm-hmm. Working at Popeyes, and the white man is the manager. I mean, not. I mean, I'm sorry. You see the Indians that brought all these franchises and shit, and Popeyes and Dunkin' Donuts and shit, and liquor stores. Y'all gonna need black folks to help y'all get them out. We the only ones who can do it. Y'all can't do it because y'all the ones who brought them here. The truth damn sure do hurt. They wasn't slaves in America. Goodbye. We ain't complaining. We just telling our story. We just telling the story. Ain't nobody complaining. We know our story and we just telling it. You just being offended by it because you feel like white people always been great. They haven't been great since they've been on this damn earth. I ain't saying all white people. I'm just talking about the ones who's white supremacists. There's white people out here now on the internet going in and roasting their own white folks and calling them out. They see it. Those are the good ones. Those are the ones who ancestors were with our ancestors. Those were the ones who were fighting with our ancestors. Those are their kids coming up. They know that black mammy used to nurse their babies and take care of them and shit, wipe they stinking behind. When they went to the bathroom and I couldn't have done that. They would have had if I was a slave. I don't know what I would have done, but I just know that I feel it in my spirit now that it would have been difficult for me. It would have been really, but when you a slave, you ain't got no other choice, right? When you a slave, you ain't got no other choice but to do things of that nature, serving them. But I think we don't had enough. Because basically we really weren't serving you. We were serving our Lord. Because when we go back to the Bible and we read about Jesus and his disciples when they did the washing each other's feet. I'm not complaining about the past. Ryan, you are just so I don't know what to say about you. You young. You must be real young. Your parents probably didn't teach you nothing about history. You probably didn't pay attention in school. That's if you ever went. That's all I'm saying. If you ever went to school, I don't know if you ever went to school because this is the true part of history. And this white woman, she went and she said she likes to learn. I don't know if you ever seen her video, whatever. And she did her research and she said she was talking about the black people and their experience. And she was like saying about her own people, which lied to them. They didn't tell them the truth. And by hearing our story, they starting to see it. They see it. And they feel some kind of way because they like, why would y'all our ancestors lie and think that this was right for us to do stuff like this to other human beings and to feel that even if we were bought, sold, whatever, but you still know they a human being. Why would you even mistreat them like that? And you talking about there was other slaves, but we talking about America. Slaves in America. We ain't talking about slaves nowhere else. They got to go there and deal with their own oppressors there and their own history over there. But we talking about what happened in America. We ain't talking about what happened in all these other countries, all these there's 7 continents of the world. There's 7. And out of all 7 of those continents are other nations. And out of all those other the world don't ain't all in America. But everybody wants to come to America because they be inspired by America. And America is inspiring. And America is the trendsetter. America is the most powerful nation in the world because of Black America. And that's the part you don't get. That's the part you don't get. And we still standing and fighting with our oppressors. There's some racist Mexicans too. I had to deal with some of them when I was in Texas. When I was the only black girl working there at the bank, the only black face that was there, besides this one other black dude, but he wasn't really black because he was Dominican black. And I was the only black girl that worked there. And the rest was all Mexican and white when I was in Texas. I had to work with nothing, and it was more racist Mexicans when I worked there than it was white. The white people had treated me good, and the Mexicans treated me badly. No, I don't hate Mexicans. I don't hate anybody. I might hate their ways and I might hate what people might do, but I don't hate you. Because maybe you just don't know any better. And that will come in time. I don't have nothing against Mexicans, but I'm just sharing my story that I have had an experience with them too, as far as when I was in Texas and how prejudiced they were, and they still prejudiced because they only like to hire their own kind. And you in America and you only want to hire Mexicans to work for you? Oh no, this is America, bull. Equal opportunity, okay? Equal opportunity. That's against the law. People do it, but it's against the law. Even if I was a black person, I'm not just gonna only hire black people. If I own a company, I'm gonna hire people that I know that are good. I'm gonna hire the best. They ain't gotta be black. They could be white. They could be Chinese. They could be whatever. Long as they good at what they do. That's all that matters to me for the business. And we all working together to build the business together. But I tell you one thing, I don't want to be the tail. I got to be the head. I got to be the mastermind. Okay? That's it. And white people, they want black people in slavery because they can't do shit for themselves. They need us to do shit for them. And the only way they gonna try, that's the only way they can get some, they gotta put somebody in, they gotta go get a slave to do their work for them, and they can't do it for themselves. Lazy, and they call us lazy. They call us lazy. Lord Jesus. They break down in a minute. They can't even handle, they couldn't even handle one day as a slave before they probably crash out and kill themselves. They wouldn't be able to take it, boo. You can't take it. You gotta have that warrior blood. You can't take it. They crash out. I know how they crash out because I worked with them. You know, crying and carrying on. They make an error with the, and next thing you know, they feel fear that they're gonna be in trouble. They start crying and having a little pitsy fit. We don't do that crying bullshit unless it gotta be. We don't do crying. We do rage. We don't do that. They be sitting there, and even when they do try to get tough and act like us, they still can't get it right. They still can't get it right. And another thing about us, when we pour, you don't see it. But when they pour, oh yes, you see it. You see it, and it looks bad. It looks bad. Hair all greasy, face all wrinkly and falling apart. You see it though. We know how to make do. We know how to make a way out of no way. When who left Africa, they went to shit. I don't know nothing about Africa. I keep telling y'all that. I ain't never lived in Africa. I wasn't born in Africa. I wasn't raised in Africa. I wasn't nurtured in Africa. None of that. I don't know no relatives in Africa, boo. I was raised in America. I can only tell the American story. I can't tell you nothing about Africa. You got to talk to an African. Wait, they don't like the black Americans from the continent. The Africans from the continent of Africa do not like the black Americans from the continent of Africa. And that says a lot. I don't know. If they didn't like us, why the fuck they over here then? Could you answer that, Jackson? If Africans don't like the black Americans, then why they living in America and not in Africa? Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah. Oh, who got so much hate? Is it me you talking to? Oh, ain't no hate over here. We don't do hate. That's probably how you feeling right now. Because that's not how I feel. Don't turn that on me. Ain't no hate over here. Ain't nothing but love. Nothing but love pouring from my heart. Ain't nothing but love. I love white people. The good ones. The ones who know how to treat people right. And that goes for anybody. There's some black people I don't care for either. But let's go back to our conversation before we get into that. We was talking about the protests. I said it's best for them to have a prayer meeting. Invite those who may or may not have witnessed what has happened to the prayer meeting. Maybe not the person who pulled the trigger, but invite somebody for this poor little infant's life, for this baby's life, for justice on his life. You're going to do everything you can in good conduct to get good results. If you go out there in rage and getting all crazy, because some people will look for a damn protest just so they could have a reason to tear shit up and vandalize shit or cause chaos or whatever, cause dysfunction and destruction. That's why I don't like protests in the street. I don't do those type of protesting because there's always somebody that's just gonna come and mess it up, and then somebody else gonna come right behind it and do the same thing, and all that other stuff gonna get started and a whole thing. And I think protest is, to me, because of the past that I learned from watching from what happened in the civil rights movements and all that other stuff, what these things can lead up to. You don't want to see nobody get harmed because everybody that's in the crowd is not there on the in the best interest of the child that people are there for. That's what you got to be careful for, because when people see a crowd they want to go and they want to get in the crowd, because that's how the devil works. He likes to work in a crowd where he can hide himself. So that's why I don't like protesting. I think the only protest, and it wasn't even a damn protest, it was just a little rally. It was back in 2000, and I think maybe What year was it? Maybe 2005 or maybe 2000. No, no, it was maybe 2005, 6, something like that. It was. I know it happened around that time, and it was a fight these kids had out in Louisiana. It happened in Louisiana, wherever. Somebody had a fight. The black kid had a fight with a white boy. It was called the Jenna Six. It was the Jenna thing that had happened. And what happened was that a white boy and a black kid got into a fist fight. And in the fight, the black boy whipped the shit out of the white boy. And on top of that, stomped him in the face with a sneaker, with his sneaker. So this black kid was arrested, and he was also going to be going to jail for a very long time because, according to the way they wanted to make it in their laws for this young black boy's life, was he was going to do a large time in jail for a sneaker, for kicking the guy, for putting his foot in the guy's face in his sneaker print. Rylan, I didn't really follow much of the story. Only thing I got was the headline. I don't know nothing about the mother because I was it was just too overwhelming for me because I was just dealing with the other stuff that was going on with Cyrus Carmichael and also with Carmelo Anthony. That is just too damn much. Okay, we are not God, and we can't jump into everybody's fight. We have to stay on focus and everything on already the things we were already handling. I can't deal with, these people know that they want to overexhaust you, and I don't got time for it. That's why I say these things are just too much for me. You got to give these battles to God and let God handle it because he going to handle it, but you get in the way, you just going to get yourself jacked up. That's all I got to say. Jackson, let me explain something to you while you going in on Carmelo's parents, okay? And let me tell you this. Those two, that family, that young couple, they never been in trouble with the law before. They don't know nothing about the system. This is their first rodeo. And when you in the first rodeo and your child is in a serious, serious battle, you're going to get any attorney that you possibly can to help you. And especially what that family had to deal with when people were harassing them, making life threats to them, and sending all kind of things to that family. That mother was about to have a nervous breakdown. That father, and he lost his job, and everything behind all of that crazy shit with these people, what these white folks were doing, because that was who did it, was white people. They never want to live up to their wrongdoings. They always want to blame it on black people did this and black people did that. And if they did it this way, it wouldn't have happened. When they kids is raggy as fuck and they go around with rifles and kill everybody in a goddamn school and even in the elementary school, okay? That's how disgusted and demonic they are. And then they want to turn around and flip the shit on make it sound like it's black people's fault. We could be anywhere in our own fucking hood, minding our own goddamn business, and y'all just come over there and just start some shit. Ain't nobody hating y'all. Y'all hate yourselves. It's time to get rid of you. Because you doing too much. You on a Carmelo shit. Now, Ryan, I'm going to answer your question about if that mother made good choices, her child will still be alive. What child? You talking about the 1 year old? I said the mother, I don't know nothing about the mother. Okay? I don't know nothing, but it was still, no matter how you look at it, that was a 1 year old. Okay? Move the mother out of the place and look at it as a 1 year old sitting in the car, and this police officer gonna pull out his switch and start firing at the car without thinking that there could have been an innocent somebody else in the car. It might not even could have been the child. It could have been somebody else sitting in the car. It could have been her goddamn mother, an elderly mother. How about that? You don't go shooting your bullets at nobody's car because they stole Pampers. If they stole Pampers or whatever, if anything, try to follow the goddamn car till she get where she gotta go. And when she get out, you come after her. You pull her ass over. But it ain't have to take all of that shooting shit. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't no way to justify that and blame the mother. When that was a grown ass man, a police officer that pulled out his damn gun, shooting when nobody was shooting at his ass. The gun was uncalled for. The shooting was uncalled for, period. You get in your SWAT car and you follow her motherfucking car and pull her over. He didn't even have to shoot. Just go to the car and, and knock on the window and tell her to. He just shot at the car when she was moving or backing up or whatever. That didn't make no damn sense. Ain't no way you gonna tell me, you know, that it's gonna justify. I don't give a fuck if the mother was out there selling her ass. It still was a 1 year old child. Period. I don't care what she was doing. She could have been out there giving up cootie cat, and doing all kind of stuff. But it still doesn't give anybody a right to take a life, to go and especially a 1 year old. Okay, that was really really sickening. A 1 year old, you got to be a real sick son of a so and so to shoot your gun just because you saw a black woman stealing the diapers out of the. You had to be the real hardcore racist, hatefulest ass person to kill a 1 year old child. You a sick person, and anybody defend that is sick too. And they need fucking. I don't even know if they need help. They probably beyond help. To think that it was justifiable for a police officer to shoot off his gun and nobody was shooting at the police officer. Make it make sense. Nobody was shooting at him. Was somebody got firing a gun at him? Nobody was firing a gun at him. But he just felt he was trigger happy that day and killed the 1 year old child out of his recklessness. And God will deal with that for real, because he said anything that do harm to a child, a milestone will be, something will be hung around your neck and thrown into the lake of fire. That is no excuse. There's no excuse for that. Jesus spoke very clear about that. Okay? And anybody that sit around and support that type of evil, you will also reap reap the repercussions, and you will also take some of the punishment as well. Fuck out of here telling me about a goddamn cop shooting a 1 year old child. You want to push it on the fucking mother? When that officer should be held accountable. I don't give a fuck that woman was a damn stripper. I don't care if she was shaking her ass, making it rain, whatever the fuck she do to feed her children or how she live her life. But it don't make no damn sense for nobody to go shooting at somebody when they ain't shooting at them, and they don't seem like they a threat or any danger. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit. Fucking white racist people. They so hateful with racism in them that they don't even care if it's a 1 year old child. They will find an excuse for their wickedness, for their evil. That's how wicked and evil is so embedded in them. And then they want to say you complaining? You damn right I'm going to speak up about it. That little black boy, life gone. I don't know what he could have grown up to be. He could have been my goddamn doctor to take care of me for the elderly. Could have been my caregiver. He could have been somebody to come and be the president of the United States. You don't know. No, that's what the fuck your kids are. Fucking racist bastard. Get out of my fucking chat. Sick of y'all. You ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't come here. Don't. They get mad when you have to tell them who the fuck they are. And I don't like that. And I don't like being like that because there is so many people that are white that I do like. But then some of y'all are just as ignorant as fuck. Just as ignorant as fuck. That's why when I see something happen to y'all asses and I see it on the news, like that one that looked like a goddamn Aryan or some kind of KKK member, he shot and killed his whole goddamn family. Okay? And I bet you any amount of money when you find the story, I need to go look up that story so I could bring it to y'all attention so y'all see y'all people. What your people do. Just so I can see what y'all people, so I can show y'all people and which the mess y'all be having going on in the world. Y'all better get right. And I ain't talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about right now. Because time ain't forever. Death come like a thief in the night. And when Jesus come for your wrongdoings, oh, he ain't going to let you know when he's coming. He's just going to show up and catch you off guards. And you're going to be like, oh, Lord Jesus Christ, help me. I'm so sorry, Lord, help me. You're going to be crying and screaming. You're going to get on TV. You're going to get on your goddamn social media. You're going to go to a damn TikTok video and stuff and cry out to the Lord, to the world about your pain. And, oh, yeah, he going to make you say it. I see some now. One man just came out of his cave. He came out the cave and said that black people need to go back and sleep. And he looked like a damn caveman. He came out the fucking cave. I was like, what the hell? He better go back in his damn cave. He been hiding. You know, dirty. He look all dirty. He look like, you ever seen that movie Deliverance? Them inbreeds. He looked at like a goddamn caveman. He came out the goddamn cave and he said, black people, ever since they've been free, you know, he's getting mad because black people are now telling a story. And that bothers him because they don't want you to know who you are. That's why they didn't want the slaves to read. They didn't want you to read, but we still got through, right? We didn't need to read. God, like I said, is in control. He's in control. When the Lord wants things to get done, he get it done. Okay? I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of the wickedness. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in his courts. And we are planted in the house of the Lord. That's why we don't got no earthly weapons. And I keep telling you that. Don't have no earthly weapons. Our weapons are in heaven. They are in heaven. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. He said he would do it. You know, when you got the Lord on your side, you ain't afraid of nothing. You ain't afraid of these people out here talking all that madness. He'll take that gun and turn it, make it turn right back on you. He could use that. You could be wanting to come here right now to come shoot me, and God will have you shoot yourself. Okay? How about that? Just to keep me silent from getting the word out there and trying to go on the people and get the people right. Because it's been going on too long now. Y'all killing 1-year-old babies. Y'all don't got too trigger. Y'all don't got that vicious. Y'all don't got that wicked. Y'all got wicked habit. That's what you are, wicked habit. Like you wanna be. I ain't scared of these white folks. I've been dealing with y'all all my fucking life. What the fuck I'm scared of you for? You know how y'all moving? Y'all ain't got nobody stupid over here. Anytime you got to talk about doing something as far as talking about black greatness, all they want to hear about us is shooting each other and killing each other in the street, or things, crimes against we commit against each other. That's what they get excited about. They feel good about. But black people ain't like that. Y'all like that. Okay, that's who y'all are. We out here minding our own business, enjoying life, laughing and dancing and being, celebrating and everything. And here y'all motherfuckers come. Just like y'all took down all our damn every time we build something, y'all come and tear it up. And y'all say y'all blame us. Oh, look how they want to live. Y'all motherfuckers did that shit to Tulsa. Okay? Y'all fucked up the Wall Street down there in Oklahoma. Y'all motherfuckers did it. Okay? They have like, I don't know how many. I just did a post about how many massacres on black people's lives in the United States of America, from South Carolina. That white boy walked up in a black church and killed those people in the black church. It wasn't a white church. This is how evil, and he was a young guy. This is what y'all fucking teach y'all fucking kids. From the time they come out the fucking womb, if y'all put a fucking, instead of giving them a goddamn bottle, y'all put a fucking firearm in their goddamn hand and tell them to hate black people. That's what y'all learn. That's what y'all teach y'all children to do. Ain't no Jesus living in y'all house. Evil ones like you that think it's okay and try to justify a fucking grown ass police officer shooting a 1 year old baby. Somebody need to come and shoot your fucking kid. How you like that? And blame it on your wife and say, oh, she should have done a better job. Fuck out of here. White people are fucking crazy. They are. They try to make you look like you crazy. They fucking crazy. I had a child in my classroom. All her parents ever dressed her in was all of this dark stuff. Dark, demonic. Well, little white girl. All the dark, demonic things like skeletons and ghosts and shit like that. That's what's in the spirit. I was taking care of the little. I loved the little girl. She was a sweet little girl. I enjoyed the little girl. I thought she was adorable. But her parents was already grooming her into that fucking gothic life. I thought she was a beautiful little girl. They do the weirdest shit with they fucking kids. I had another parent, and let me tell you something. I had a lot of y'all in my fucking classroom. I had more y'all in my classroom than I had those kids that look like me. Okay? So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. How y'all raise y'all fucking kids. I had more control over their ass in the classroom than the parents had with their ass at home. Sometimes the parents would bring them there early in the goddamn morning, don't pick them up until almost close to closing time. Because that's how out of control they had their children. They couldn't keep them home with them. They rather bring them and dump them on somebody else. And I had those kind of kids in my classroom. They didn't even want to go home when they was in my classroom because they got attention from me. They don't get attention at home. Some of them don't even get a fucking meal. And y'all talk about black kids. Some of them parents don't even fucking feed their kids. They only feed them when they only get a meal when they come to the school. And they get purchase of care just like any fucking body else, but also with that program, with that purchase of care program or whatever, they discriminate and they be doing some shit with that because they be giving them they be paying just about the whole goddamn thing for them damn white kid families, But the black families be getting purchase plus care. That means that they'll pay half and the family have to come up with the other half. And the white people, they get the whole goddamn package. And there ain't only black people on welfare. More white folks was on welfare than black people. Some black people cases were getting turned down. And the community church had to feed and take care of the family. Okay? Until they were able to open up a case and fight for them to get a case open. For their children, for welfare for them and their children. White people walk in there with they damn for their welfare check and everything, sign the papers, and they just hand them over they check. Okay? A black person, they gotta go through hell to get it. So don't come and tell me no shit about welfare and everything. Only reason why they mad because the foreigners are drying it up. They brought them goddamn foreigners over here, and now them damn foreigners learned to got into the system, and they've been taking all the money and the jobs too. That's why y'all want them out of here. And black people been suffering all along. Y'all feel if y'all could kick one of us out the box, then it'd be better for y'all. But it didn't work. Okay? Now y'all need us. Y'all need us to fight to get these fucking foreigners out the fucking America. And you know what? We ain't doing that for y'all. But we ain't getting in God's way. When God say do it, we'll do it. But other than that, when y'all say do it, we ain't doing it. God has to give us the order. But right now, he don't feel that way. He gonna let y'all get it from another nation of people and drag our ass in bondage. And we be sitting here right here free. And we don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it. I don't think no black person should have any part of it. We should just mind our fucking business and just keep it moving. Mind our business and keep it moving. Okay? Let them go fight them damn Arabs and them damn Islamic people. Let them do it. They the ones who brought them here. They the ones who did these business transactions with them. We wasn't part of the deal. Or was we? They thought they was going to try to sell us off and say, hey, maybe they could be y'all slaves now. We could sell you. Yeah, I wish they would. Them motherfuckers would get some of that fuck. They get the business too. They get some of the smoke too. Let them try that dumb shit over here. They know they ain't gonna fuck with us. They know better. They know goddamn better. Fucking crazy ass, you know. They better take that shit over back to damn Somalia. And here come the Chinese. Oh, we gonna want to buy some land too. They'll get it too. Won't y'all stay in your own motherfucking land? We ain't doing that. God ain't gonna allow it to happen. How about that? Because I saw it already in the scriptures. See, I trust God. We had a conversation and we ain't even at the table. God tells us everything y'all trying to do. So we ahead of the game. So we be woke. Okay? God already tell us. Echoes of mercy. Like this is my story, this is my song. You ever heard that song? This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all day long. This is my story. This is my song. Praising my Savior all day long. His of salvation, purchase of God, born of his spirit and washed in his blood. Perfect submission, perfect delight. I am my Savior's. Okay? I am my Savior's. Listen to the words. Because I'm telling you the story. But I guess you don't want to hear it. You want to hear some demonic shit. That's what you want to hear. You on the devil. You on that devil stuff. But see, we don't get that over here. I just try to I just try to tell you the story. It's up to you if you want to hear my story or not. Or you want to stay in your ignorance? Mm. White people crashing out now, mad at their fathers. What kind of shit is that? Fathers probably did. Yeah, they had some fucked up fathers. Fathers beating on their kids and riding on their kids. They did a lot of shit. It's just about the same amount of shit we did. Or, well, I wouldn't say that because, like I said, we didn't own slaves. Well, I didn't. I don't know nothing about no black people ain't own slaves in America. I'm just gonna say it like that. I don't know about any blacks owning any slaves in America. Maybe servants, but they had to pay them. They had to get, they had to pay them. They probably didn't pay them very much, but they still had to pay for the services, for their butlers. And well, the butlers, they got, I don't know much about what they got as butlers, but when I used to watch Vincent, this show that used to come on, it seemed like he was part, they made the butlers like part of the family. Vincent, they make the butler like part of the family and stuff. He knows everything that's going on with the what's in that house. He know the house better than the damn owner of the house or the master of the house. He knows the master better than the master know his damn self. I feel the same way about the maid. She knows the wife. She knows the men that the wife go and creep with. Butler knows the women that the what the husband of that household go and do with other women. Mm-hmm. And the maid knows everything the wife is doing. She know who she's sleeping with, and who that baby that she had belongs to. Because remember, back in those days, people didn't have the technology, the science, and everything else today that we have today to find out who these daddies were that these women were having. That these slave, I mean, not these slave, but the mistress of the house, I mean, not the mistress, the lady of the house sometimes ain't sleeping with the husband to have them babies. She was with the brother-in-law, or some shit, or some other dude that she was supposed to get married to that probably wasn't in that status. So she had to marry whoever, but she still was creeping with dude. You could imagine with all in those days, in those days, what they was doing, right? The slaves, we see it, all kind of shit. The slaves used to have all the tea, all the damn tea. I saw the movie Roots with Mary, whatever her name was, Mary Ellen, and whatever the one that one that betrayed Kizzy. She taught Tizzy how to read. She taught Tizzy how to write. She was Kizzy's best friend. They were little. Her name was Mary something. Mary Ellen, Mary Ann, whatever the hell her name was, little brat. But anyway, her father, her pappy, right? The slaves was talking about the whole deal when she was coming around. They was like, yo, we all know the little girl that was coming to see him, which was supposed to have been his niece, was really his daughter. You hear what I'm saying? The little girl that was supposed to have been his brother's child was actually his child because he was sleeping with the brother's wife. Hi, artist Dooley. How you doing? Artist Dudley. How you doing? Hi, Queen Shaw. Yeah, if you see, go see the movie Roots. Don't take my word for it. You gonna find out when you see the history of that story Roots. Those slaves were sitting around talking about it. That was they entertainment, child. They thought them slaves was. Oh, I'm glad you are good. Oh, thank you. I like that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm beautiful to you. Artist Dudley. Yeah, so them slaves used to sit around and they had their little slave gathering time and they social time. They used to get it in that house when that sister and she baking cakes and pies for Massa House and everything. And while she inside her own cabin or whatever like that, cooking meals. No, she cooking meals at the Massa House, but she the oven and everything they used was at another place. The slave, they had their own place where they used to have to be to cook the food and everything. And those other slaves will come in there and have their little break and have their little conversation after they take their break from the field and shit. Working out and come out of that field and everything, and they sit there and have their little con. They talk about Massa and his brother's wife. That same shit went on in the Bible with John the Baptist and Herodias' wife. What was her name again? What was that crazy woman name? She had the daughter, um, Epiphany or something. Epiphany. And she was like a dance. Her daughter knew how to do those belly dances or whatever like that. Dance like a nasty little hoe. So John the Baptist called her ass out and told her, "Your daughter gonna turn out just like you. You sleeping with your brother Phillips, well Philip, and what was the other brother name? It was Philip, and I forgot the other brother name. But anyway, Herodias' brother Philip or whatever. It's two brothers. So she was when next thing you know, she was laying up with the brother. She went to the next highest bidder. She got with the brother, and John the Baptist called her ass out about having that kind of lifestyle in front of her daughter. And that's why he had his head chopped off because that's was her time, her opportunity. Because she hated him, she mad because he called her out nasty slut, you know. And she had a daughter dancing for that nasty old man and everything, just so she can get to John the Baptist's head because he told her she would give him anything from his kingdom for her to dance, and she danced. But he liked John the Baptist, but he had to keep his promise. He had to keep his promise. Go read the story. You find some interesting things in that Bible that you won't be surprised what people do out here today. You be surprised. All the nasty stuff they do. Same people today. you know? Crazy people today. Same thing. It wasn't easy for any kind of leadership back then, and there ain't no lead. Even when they were kings ruling and everything, they was always paranoid that somebody was trying to poison their ass. And if they felt anybody that they felt like they felt you was going to harm them, they will have you killed. That's how they did it. Oh, super chat. I don't have super chat on here. I didn't monetize my channel. Well, at this point where I'm not working, I wish I did have it so y'all could be hitting me up with some cash apps and some doggone. I don't have super chat, baby. I don't. I don't want to deal with YouTube on that level, on a monetary level, no, because then they want to control my damn conversation. I don't want that. I had the what outfit? No, I can't get no super chat, babe. But let's go on with some more stories. I was just really concerned about this 1 year old because that's why I came back because I saw it. I said, oh no, these people gonna go protest. Are they silly? Why don't they just go to a church, have prayer meetings, and get somebody in the church or somebody that can really sit down and talk to somebody in the town about what happened and get the justice that they need. All that yelling and screaming out in the street and getting hostile and angry and oh, becoming so irate, and then everybody, the other people from outside that really don't have their best interest in the child anyway, they just want to be a part of some chaos and drama, and they just gonna come and just make it all bad for them. You got to be careful because there's some people that do that, and sometimes people get paid to do it. They pay people to come out as paid protesters and do damage. Yep. Look what they did over there with the unrest protests in California. Them people were paid. They were paid protesters. Most of them are paid. Just like these platforms now that's saying the shit they saying to black people. I ain't talking about the white folks. White folks gonna do what white folks do. I'm talking about the black coons on these YouTube streets that call themselves conservative Christians, and I'm a Christian and I can't do. Being a Christian don't mean you can't call something wrong when it's wrong. But you're gonna say Carmelo was wrong, but look at all the other murders. See, this is how they. This is the messed up stuff about some conservative black so-called Christians. They always want to turn everything around to make white people feel comfortable. You know, like they always want to make it sound like we wrong as black folks. You shame of that outfit? Okay, cool. I don't know what outfit you talking about. I'm wearing shorts and I'm wearing a t-shirt. So what are you looking for? I don't want to be hostile here. People be putting stupid stuff in the chat sometimes, and it's just stupid. So anyway, like I said, y'all gotta excuse me for moving my hair around. I gotta keep moving this hair around because it's long, and you know I'm usually with short hair. I'm not with all of this. So anyway, like I said, um, where was I? I lost my thoughts looking in the chat. That's why I can't look at the chat. I think I need to turn the chat off so I can really talk. But what I'm saying to you is I lost my thoughts. I lost my I lost my thoughts. Okay. Um the children, where was I? Now I'm just lost. I don't know what I was saying just a few minutes ago. Cause somebody tell me in the chat what I was just saying and I lost my thoughts. Help me, please. Help me. Help me. I was talking about Artist Dudley. You are being very, very annoying right now. I'm gonna have to put you on timeout. Okay. Anyway, anyway, y'all. Like I said, and everything that we have to be careful the way we do things in these protests. Is like I said, people that will come out. Hi, Queen Zahaba, that just get paid just to come out, just to turn things up. You know, like break a couple of car windows, or you know, that's how we want you to enrage. You know, they got people that tell you what to do, like tell you to break car windows and slash tires and probably do other things. And these people that do it, they don't care. You know why? Because they probably already got felons. They probably already ain't going nowhere in life, and they just don't. They just do it because they want to get paid. They criminals. Most protesters don't have real jobs. They don't have jobs. They don't care about being arrested and being bailed out, you know, because they already got a criminal record, so they just keep adding on to it. So that's why I don't go to those things. That's why I said the best thing for these people to do to get justice for their child is to have a church meeting, a prayer meeting for the community to come out, and none of that wild talking crazy stuff. Stay in the book, stay in the scriptures, sing some hymns, sing some songs so you can calm down the noise, okay, that's going in your soul. When your soul is burning like that, when you burning like that inside, you want something to put the fire out. And the best way to do it is when you go, the black church was always on fire. When somebody was hurt and if somebody was harmed, that's the first place we went is to the church. That's what made us so strong. Because that's where you get your strength from. You can't get your strength from the world. You just can't. It's just too much to handle. And it'll break you down. So the best place to go, as I said, have a prayer meeting. They know the word of God. Those so-called attorneys like Ben Crump, he came up in the church. You could tell he's a church man. Okay, you could tell He know the word. He should have had a church meeting. Call it down, go and pray me. Now that's one thing what Al Sharpton did. Where he used to be on fire in his days. I remember because like I said, I grew up in New York and I ain't never been at none of his protests, but I know he was out there in those streets. And one thing, and after he stepped out of the street, he ain't do the protesters like that anymore in the street. He's been stabbed and everything. He'll tell you, it's dangerous. Them protesters are felons. They criminals. They criminals already. That's why I don't like the street protests and people trying to keep that street protest going. That street protest shit is not good. That is not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is go to the church and have prayer meetings and things of that nature to get people to put out the fire in their soul. You know what I'm saying? Put the fire out and calm it down. Get some hymns. Find some old spiritual Negro hymns if you have to, just so you can get down in their heart and pull everything up. But you can't go out there in the streets, or you're gonna find yourself getting more injustice. You're going to add on more injustice. The best place for you to be is in the house of God and talking to the Lord, praying and fasting until a breakthrough comes through. Prayer and fasting. But right now is mourning season. The child is dead. There's nothing more we can do but right now fight for his memory or the justice for a young 1 year old who didn't die, who died not from natural causes, but who died from gun violence. Okay, that's a serious thing, and that's a deep thing, and that's something somebody really needs to pray about. That's somebody that mother needs prayer, that family needs prayer. They don't need to be out in no goddamn street for another tragedy to happen. Because I'm telling you, them damn protesters get paid to come, and some of them get paid to destroy property because they tell them to do that so that the police can get even more hostile and violent. Okay? So the best thing for them to do, and I'm just putting it out there, and this is my protest, okay? The best thing for them to do is to have that thing at the prayer meeting in the church. And I just see too many black people. Every time somebody died, you out there with damn balloons and vigils and stuff. We didn't do that. That's not how we dealt with our pain, and we put it out there on the street like that. We went inside the church, or we went to, if we were good neighbors and we knew the person family for a long time, and we all would stop by the house. People would bring food, cards, flowers, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Drinks, food, whatever. That's how we dealt with it. We had ourselves wakes. And at the wake, it would be days. People be coming by every day. Almost every day, people be stopping by until the funeral. While we doing the wake, the family is people are coming by to check, to check on the family, see how the family doing. If you okay, put a little money in a card, a little $10, $20, whatever you can afford to give. Nothing, as long as you give, and that's it. Bring food, cake, desserts, sodas. Liquor if you want liquor there. You know what I'm saying? That's how we did it back in the good old days to comfort each other and to get each other through those moments. We didn't go to the streets. We didn't go to the streets. If you want the Lord to work for you, you gotta work, you know, with it. You gotta, work through the process. But going to the streets and protesting is ain't gonna do nothing but bring more and more pain to you, baby. So the best thing for you to do is get yourself into a nice church home, get a nice good path. And Ben Crump, that's where he should be leading you. For now. And try to at least get somebody like the chief or whoever can come there, and maybe they won't come because of the probably people might get crazy or whatever, but they can get that together. They can calm that down. People need to have a conversation about this stuff. 70s and 80s for sure. Yeah, that's man, my family from the South, okay, and those things came with them up north. So when I was growing up in New York and everything, anytime something, and most Southerners did that. Whenever something like that happened, people would stop by with pies or cake, desserts, or boxes of all kinds of food, all kinds of food. People would make some fry some chicken and bring it to the house. Some people would make some red rice. Oh, I love red rice. That's a gullah dish. They will call it Nigerians and everything. They call their rice jollof, but we don't put all that shit in our red rice. They put a whole lot of ingredients in their food. We don't. We our stuff, especially Hispanics. What about Hispanics, Jerry? Oh, they bring the cards and the food, and everybody sit down with the family. Yeah, and talk with the family and stuff. That's how we used to do things. We don't been out in the street with no goddamn balloons and candles in our hand and rallies and stuff. We ain't never did that. My family ain't. We ain't until this day. We don't do that. We don't go in the street with candles and balloons and stuff. We don't do that. When somebody die in our family, we go visit we go see our loved ones. We go sit around and go and visit and take something or send and if we can't get to them, we send a card. We send a card. Or we give them a phone call and let them know we thinking about you and I'm sorry about hearing about whatever. When my cousin died and he got hit by a car and everything, I took a plane flight from my job. I had to fight to get there because my job wasn't going to give me the time off. And I said, "Look, my cousin." The white folks. They asked me, "Oh wow, is he like a?" I said, "Look, our family. This is my family. Like that's the way y'all do things. That's not how we do things. We did for our loved ones. We did when they going through this time of losing a child. My cousin got hit by a car and he died, and it was his mother's only son. That was a very, tragic moment for them to lose their baby boy like that. And that car dragged him when he got hit trying to cross some highway to go back to go get his hat. And that car came so quickly, and he couldn't get away. But I'm just saying, people don't encourage this family. I know people are right now. They not thinking right. They angry. They hurting. They mad. Take it to the Lord in prayer works. Before you know it, you'll be more calmer. You'll see a whole lot more better, and then you'll be able to talk better, and you'll probably get the justice that you're looking for. But if you go out there loud, making noise, tearing up property, and doing all that crazy stuff, guess what? It's going to make it harder. It's just going to make it harder. And Democrats, they like all that emotional stuff so that they can feel like they want to get back the House from Trump, from the Republicans. And when I saw George Bush was there, I was like, whoa, where did he come from? I saw him at the Obama Center and everything, but usually they do that because they support one another. In the Democrat Party, they always gotta, you know, it causes problems. That's right. All it is going to do is cause more problems. Just leave that shit alone. Take it to the Lord in prayer. It's happening to so many other people right now. A lot of people are going through this pain, and God is trying to tell us, son, it's time to get back into the house of God. Stop taking your problems to the streets or to the world. Take them to Jesus because He's the only one that can handle it. He said, take my burden, my yoke, which is light, for your burden. But people want a quick fix, and they're going to find themselves quickly in more trouble, and in more pain, and in more, you know, you don't want to keep putting yourself through that. That's what I said, term. They both the, as far as I'm concerned, that's a family feud going on. And if I'm mad at you, I'm gonna give them this. If I'm mad at you, I'm gonna give them that. This is what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Out of their greed and out of their wanting power and everything else. That's what they do. I roll with it. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing, just stay over there with it. Don't. Because God gonna make a way out of me, no way. Because my family, I ain't got no money. We ain't never had no money. MAGA Republican strong. I don't know, Jerry. I don't know. I really don't know, Jerry. I don't know, MAGA. Because y'all got some MAGA infiltrators over there. Okay? Y'all better get Jack Lane. Y'all better get Jack Lane together, okay? Because he's been really putting the spotlight on MAGA with his racism and his hatred and his white supremacy and out there saying the things he was saying. He's not a good person to be representing on y'all team. I'm sorry. If y'all want y'all love y'all Trump, y'all better put a what do you call it in his head and say stay away from that goddamn Jake Lane. Cause it look like he trying to put the spotlight. I think he working on both sides of the fence. To be honest with you, cause he don't seem too stable. He don't seem. He seem a little off. Okay. I don't care about no Jeffrey Files. They should have had him locked up a long time ago if he was down with Jeffrey Epstein like that. Why they didn't do it then? That just shows you how hypocritical they are. And they just doing it just because they want to gain the House and they want people to turn against Trump and they want people not to vote again for MAGA for next term. You know what? I ain't thinking about neither one of them. Okay? To be honest with you. Cause this was my very very first time ever taking a chance and voting for Trump. Cause I wasn't damn sure I wasn't gonna vote for Kamala. I just wasn't gonna do it. I didn't care if I had to vote for Mickey Mouse. She wasn't getting that vote from me. Okay. I just took a chance with him because I just took a chance because it was very his camp. I mean his what you call it was his team. Yeah, only Jesus was saved. That's exactly because I took a chance with it. I followed my heart with God, and God said it would be okay because He was talking the stuff that I wanted to hear. The things that He was putting in place for. And everybody's like, "You better read Project 2025." I was like, you know what? Get that shit away. I don't want people to put in my head to be against a person before I could see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. It's just because it may not be that way. So I have to see it for myself. What they telling me may not be right. What they telling me. So that's why I said let me use my own judgment and allow me to move the way I want to move. I can't think like y'all think. I never voted for the man before. I've voted mostly Democrat all of my life. So I wanted something different. I was disgusted. I was disgusted with Obama. I feel a little better now after I prayed about it, but I had to get it out. But I voted for Obama 2 times, not once while he was in office did I speak badly about Obama or anything. I never did it to Biden. I didn't do it to Obama, and I didn't do it. I love my Clinton though. I don't know. It's something about Clinton. Clinton's. God said we're not supposed to be favoritism, but I liked my Clinton. I like that Clinton. Clinton is so freaking calm. He's like, when you talk to Clinton, I do. I like it's something about Clinton. Clinton is just he gives you that calmness when you talk. I don't want y'all to be thinking nothing else. My mother loved her Clinton. My mother loved her Clinton. It's just something about him. And then on top of that, he kind of reminded you of JFK in a way. So, and I think some people missed him so much that when they saw Clinton, that kind of like made them feel like, oh, he reincarnated. He reincarnated. But I loved my Clinton. I'm sorry. I loved my Obama too. Don't get me wrong. I love all of my presidents, but it's just some that you just have a little bit more like for, and Clinton's just one of them because now see I'm not a racist. I told you I'm not a racist because I told you how I like Clinton, right? Clinton when I met Clinton. And I met Clinton at my church, him and Hillary. They are not photogenic people. I'm going to tell you right now, the Clintons are not photogenic. But when I saw Bill and Hillary for the first time up close and personally, Hillary was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Flawless. I'm telling you, no lie. I looked at her, I said, that's Hillary? She's so beautiful. When you see them on TV and on in photo shots that some of them take, they don't look that good in pictures. But when you see them up in personal, very beautiful. That woman was gorgeous. She's still pretty. And Bill, he's handsome. When you got up in front of Bill Clinton, I see why them women were acting the way they were, putting all them those sex charges on. Trying, and I mean, those things wasn't just going on in the White House. That shit was going on when he was out is wherever Kentucky somewhere where he was running in that state, and he was a senator, maybe a senator, or he was something else too. But them women were going wild for Clinton. Okay, you think they going wild for Obama? Okay, Hillary was holding on to her. She actually was having to sit there. This is how Hillary is so like, ain't nobody gonna mess with her bill. Okay, ain't nobody gonna mess with her bill. Okay, Hillary was actually holding on to her man, and she was like, while they were talking to him, Hillary was like, y'all better get the fuck away. Hillary was like, whoa, she was ready to beat some people's ass for her man. I mean, come on. Hillary loves her man now. She loves her Bill. And Bill loves his wife. Them two are a team. You can't mess with them two. Them two are a team. She loves her husband. And of course, he loves her to death because she's good. Hillary is beautiful. Beautiful. And not only is she pretty, she had a nice shape too, but she just didn't show it too much. Hillary, when she dressed and she put on her little dress when she went to a, what you call it, I said, why Hillary got body? Hillary got a lot of body. She had a lot of body. Mm-hmm. She had a body like a black woman. But Hillary was beautiful. I mean, I'm not obsessed with her or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I was surprised because I met them. Let me tell you, with Trump and the Democrats, those people, he used to run with them, okay? He changed his party. He went to become a Republican so he can run as Republican when he wanted to run against Obama for the second term. And guess who got in the seat? Romney. What happened to him anyway? I don't even hear much about him. The other than that, um, Trump was the cash cow. Okay. He used to be able to get all the money or get close to the black people so he could get the black votes for the Democrats. Okay? That's what they used to do, use Trump for. And when he left them, I guess some of their money and the business and everything else went along with Trump, and they mad. They mad at each other. Obama, I don't know. Obama was a senator in Chicago, something like that. But he doesn't really did any much for black people. Or did he? I think he never spoke about it if he did. He never said, like, the part that got me about Obama is when Trayvon Martin was stalked and killed by George Zimmerman, right? I felt at that moment when the reporter asked him about that incident, he said he just like took it like he tried to brush it away. Like he said, that is a local. situation, which it was because it happened in the state of Florida, and it's supposed to be dealt with by the state, not by him. Only way he could have dealt with it really if it was a federal crime, but it wasn't federal. It was at the state level, so he really couldn't do much on that part. But what he could have done, because it was more than just Trayvon who was being attacked during his black lives that were, I'm sorry, senselessly lost during his administration. Right then and there, it should have been a hate crime against black Americans should have been put in place for their protection. To protect black people from being harmed by police or by anyone, a white supremacist, KKK, that law should have been put in place to protect the lives of black Americans. That's what Obama could have done. He couldn't really deal with it at the state level, but him being an attorney who went to law school, knowing that law is practicing every day, something is changing. Okay? And when that was happening, and it was happening so rapidly, he should have put that law in place. Before he left office, he should have put in a law to protect the lives of black American citizens. That's right. See, Trump got and he got on it right away to protect the lives of Christians. Obama could have done that. But instead, they're going to approve a law for LGBTQ to get married or ruled. They said that what you call is ruled on that. And Obama, I said, no, he could have vetoed. He's the president. He could have put, he could have, he could have put a law in place. I'm sorry. You know, he could have put a law in place for to protect the lives of black people. You know, because it's been happening too much. And then the history of this country. That should have been something as the first supposedly black president of the United States could have done. Should have been the first thing on his goddamn mind. But I guess not. It was all about LGBTQ. That's why I ain't voting for no damn Democrat. I don't care. I love them from a distance. You learn as you go along. You learn as you long on. We got to put laws in place because there's too many goddamn people living over here from different places of the world. It's just too many damn people living from too many. You don't know who is who. I know the best law you can get is the law from the Bible. Follow that law. Okay? I think that's the best law you can follow. Not man's law. Man's law will fuck you up. But you follow the law of the word of God and you be okay in this world. Because you can't please man. You can never please man. Okay? But with God, it doesn't take much. Of course, Janice. You know, people be giving them money and stuff. Yeah, I know that. But see, that can change too. God can. You seen what happened to Judas, right? All of that was in that part of Judas. He wanted to be close to Christ so he could be in close proximity to Christ. He wanted to basically take over the movement. He wanted to be the man. He wanted to be the top dog man. Then he was looking for some kind of influence, opportunity. He was an opportunist. So he went and did a deal with the with those people, the Pharisees. He went and did a deal with the Pharisees and he told them and everything where Christ gonna be at and told them what time to be there and what he gonna do when he get there. You know, he set it up. He plotted with them to do it. And Christ already had known he was about to do what he was going to do because that's why he said the one who dips the bread in me is the one going to betray me. He said, who me, Lord? I mean, he said, go ahead and do what you got to go do, Judas. Christ already knew he was going to betray him. Christ already knew he was making some money exchange, some money deal. And guess what happened? After Christ's death on the cross, Judas killed himself. Okay? Judas didn't even live after that. Judas killed himself because he couldn't live with the guilt and he couldn't repent for what he did. He went to the doggone people. He tried to change up on them, and they said, "No, we don't need this money." And that's when the money they threw it in Potter's Field. They used it for the blood money. They called it blood money. So that's a lesson to us in life. That story is to teach us money cannot save you. When God ready to come for you, he gonna come for you. And your money ain't gonna save nothing. Okay? So you could do as much wickedness you can with your money, but God, when it's time to go, it is time for your judgment. And when that time comes, those things will be added. So money can't save you. It's how you treat people right. Period. And then on top of that, how you try to do things right. Period. And not try to not do something wrong. Like I was talking about them conservative Christians that can't make the right distinguished judgment. When them white people don't did all these things to your people, you still gonna sit around and talk about, well, you shouldn't, you know. And then these people, some of them I know got children, right? So when that time comes to them, let's see if they're gonna keep that same conversation going. Maybe them words gonna switch around now. It ain't gonna be about, well, this, that, the other. Somebody come up to your child, and maybe your child may not be as lucky as Carmelo, and then you're gonna have a totally different saying out of your mouth. You black, you sitting up there, you know what's going on. You know this has happened before. You know the past things that happened, and you still trying to sit and sugarcoat things and trying to sound intelligent. And you're not intelligent. You're not intelligent at all. I don't know who's paying your platform from MAGA, because that's basically all they trying to put on this thing for is for MAGA. And some of them, I think they didn't come from the grassroots here. Their family probably came from someplace like the Caribbeans and everything else like that, and they were probably born here and raised here or whatever. So they're gonna have a wholly different mindset and a whole different thought process. They're gonna think differently because that's something they feel is acceptable. That white people is right and black people are always the thug and the killer, the murderer, the rapist, and everything else. That's evil. Yeah, them 35 years was crazy. And they try to justify the fact that I'm talking about black folks now, right? White people, I'm done with y'all. We talking about the coons that work for you, the coons that try to make you feel comfortable about what you're doing. That's who I'm talking about. Those platforms. I was listening to some of them. Some of them I have really liked these people really much. But I stopped going to their platform because when they started talking about this Carmelo stuff, it just wasn't sitting right with me. And that's when I realized these people were probably getting paid by MAGA to stir shit up, to convince black people, or they want to be comfortable in white spaces or whatever. Because most of the audience, I don't give a fuck if I only got 500 people here. I'm good. I don't give a fuck. Nobody even come to my damn video. I'm good. I'll sit here and talk to my damn self, even though I know I won't be talking to myself. But I'm just saying. If I see somebody doing injustice to my people, I'm standing for my people no matter motherfucking what. You standing for your people, you think I'm gonna betray my people for your bullshit? Now my people do stuff wrong all the time. I'm gonna call their ass out. I don't support no evil. I'm sorry. You could call me racist, whatever you want, because I'm black and I'm speaking my freaking black mind. You mad. Some of y'all can't hear that shit. Y'all want to feel comfortable. This ain't the platform for you. Go to the fucking Coons platform. They make you feel good all goddamn day. But I'm not going to sit up here and stroke your ego. I'm just going to give you the damn unfiltered ass truth. Okay? You can keep putting your money on their platforms like you hurting us. You hurting yourself because you know what? One of y'all gonna turn around and kill one of their children, or maybe put a fucking bullet in one of their sons' back, or do something to one of their kids, and they gonna turn on your ass, okay? And they gonna bring their ass right on back over here for us. Because these people were not grassroots to me, black Americans. These are people that came from Caribbean culture or somewhere along the line, somebody in their family fed their head up. That money is gone. What are you talking about, Janice? From what I heard, the attorney that they hired, that damn attorney took all the goddamn money they had to pay him after that trial. I don't even get into those people money because really, whatever they do with their money, if they gonna use it for their son's trial, they still had to go on and live and eat and pay bills and rent and all kind of other shit. And the father, remember, he was the breadwinner and he was the household head of the household. So the mother didn't work. She was a home. She was a homemaker. You know, like she stayed on top of doing her duties as a wife and a mother with her children and everything else like that. Well, my parents, I know my people were from where they said from Charleston, South Carolina. When I did some research about the black slaves that were brought to Charleston, because they even have the slave. When you go there, you gonna see the slave place where they used to the slave market. When you come to Charleston, you gonna see that place right there. It's still there. They were from Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, because they down there in Charleston they weave the basket. My grandmother and them used to do it. They know how to weave them baskets. They weave the baskets and everything. They know how to make things and weave in baskets, and they even can make they make all kind of stuff. They take the palm trees. They take the palm from the trees and they use that to weave baskets. They used to sometimes used to see them sitting up on the road and everything. They a lot of their culture down there is like they from the Caribbean islands. The people in the South, South Carolina, mostly people from South Carolina and people from Louisiana. And if you ever listen to the people from Louisiana talk and they accent, and you listen to the people from Charleston, South Carolina, same accent. They from Sierra Leone. That's where the Africans they are from. My people, way back then, and the ones from the Caribbean islands, they all from Sierra Leone. That's where they from. And when you want to trace their African heritage, I thought we were from West Africa. I thought we were from like Ghana or Nigeria. We're not. That's why I say we can't trace our history those as our relatives just because they dark. Because some of us came from all different places. They mixed them all up. They couldn't all speak the same language and nothing. That's why they wasn't able to speak their tongue because they was mixed in all different groups. Like they grouping us in now. They were mixed. Gullah Geechee, yeah. I know those people. I for sure, them people down in Louisiana. I could hear that accent. Louisiana and Charleston people got the same tongue. I think you got it all wrong. I think people want to be more around us than they want to be around you. So I don't know where you getting your information from. Talking about people don't want to care around black people. Oh really? Oh really? That's a fucking damn lie. That's a lie. They want to be around us more than they want to be around you. Trust and believe it. They only want to be around you for money. But when it comes to everything else, for the vibe, for the fun and all the other laughter and The lightness of life, they love being around us because we make it happen. We move the world. So you just a hating ass white folk person that ain't got nothing better to do. Come into my damn chat with your dumb shit. Goodbye. Talking about black people, nobody want to be around us. They, it ain't like nobody don't want. They just jealous of us. That's all it is. He don't want to be around us, but he's on. I'm black. They don't want to be around us, but I'm black. But you in my chat. You in my chat, and I'm black. No, I'm not familiar with Red Summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not familiar with Red Summer. But I'm just saying to this white racist supremacist or whatever the fuck he is, seen a black face on this damn live, he came and brought his ass in here and talking about people don't want to be around us. They don't want to be around your funky ass because, you know, you coming on here in my damn chat. You coming into my chat telling me that people don't want to be around us, but you come in my chat. I don't want to be around people that don't go to their chat. I don't go nowhere in their spaces. I don't excuse criminals either. That's why I don't excuse criminals. And Carmelo's not a criminal. Unfortunately, he got himself in trouble with the wrong friends, hanging around Eddie Para, that goddamn Mexican. He gonna get what the fuck coming to his little funky ass. You can't trust them goddamn people anyway. Trust nobody. But the Lord. Trust nobody but the Lord. But I'm just saying, when you get in trouble, you gonna be standing alone. That's all I got to say. And that's just a lesson in life he might have learned. And prayerfully that he will never put himself in a bad situation like that again. That he from now on will just be me, myself, and I. You know, I'm gonna be my own best friend. You gotta be your own best friend. But the teenagers, you can't tell them that. They haven't reached that milestone yet. But you now he learned, you know, from this mistake in life, he learned. He learned the system. It was a wake up call. Probably wasn't supposed to be with that Mexican girl anyway. Probably wasn't supposed to be with a sister. A nice, good sister. A power couple. Good black woman. Find yourself a good black woman. She gonna ride with you no matter what. Let me go, y'all. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about the baby protest shit. I just don't think that shit would be the best option. I don't think that would be the best thing to go out in the street, getting angry, getting mad, and have protesters out there because I'm telling you, they're going to bring a whole lot of protesters out there because that's what the Democrats do. They're going to pay some protesters, go tear some shit up. Republicans, they don't do that. But some of them, anyway. You know, George Bush was hanging out with the Democrats, so that should tell you something, right? George Bush is a rhino. He was hanging out with the Obamas and Bill Clinton and with what's his name? Um, oh my God, Joe Biden. And I didn't even wish him Happy Father's Day. He's the only one I didn't wish Happy Father's Day. Him and George Bush. Yeah, it was good talk. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But I'll be back with y'all all, if God's willing, tomorrow because I got to go now in the other room. And I just use this room just to do my videos and hang out sometimes watching TV and stuff. But I got to go in the other room now. So anyway, y'all. Oh, he is a rhino. Oh, I knew it was a rhino because he was hanging out with the damn Democrats. I saw him at the Obama Center and everything else, getting his picture taken with them, and he was looking young and good. I said, "Damn, do he age? Do he age?" I love the father though. The father was cool. I liked the father. The father was cool. I didn't know, you know, I was very young anyway when I had him as president, but I still liked him. I still liked him. You know, I liked all my presidents to be honest with you. I ain't never really had one that I didn't really like. I don't know if I had a president yet that I hated and I just really was waiting. Probably the president at that time, I was just coming in the world. That was Lyndon B. Johnson. Oh, I probably would have hated his ass. He was a nasty motherfucker. I liked it Nixon better, and I was still a little girl, and I liked it Nixon better. But anyway, y'all, I love you. God bless you. You all be good, and you supremacists out there, I love you too. And I'm gonna continue praying for you. We're gonna pray that we get this thing together. We've been in this United States for a very long time, and we ain't going nowhere, and we just here to stay. I like Trump. I ain't got nothing to get. Well, Trump, I knew him from the business world. I didn't in the entertainment and business world for president. I don't. I just say he's just holding it up now for America. Okay. So anyway, y'all, God bless you. I love you, and be good. Peace.